It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning one more time. Welcome back, guys. It's at 9 a.m. CET, meaning that London is working already, and we are going to check EU PMIs during our meeting. So we are covering EU PMIs live. All of this ahead of the ECB day tomorrow. The thing is, and the main question is if we are going to get any kind of the hint, especially that we saw the breakdown on euro dollar, I would say major breakdown through 1180 during the yesterday session, New York session. We are testing 1140 and we saw a little bit of the bounce relief rally, and we are going to discuss other euro crosses as well. But before we start, risk warning as usual, guys, please bear in mind trading effects on margin trading. Crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, USA. We had a very good conversation this morning with Michał about yesterday UK event. I'm talking about the Boris Johnson. There was no major shock, no sell off or huge spike to the downside on pound. And the thing is, why I'm talking about this. The thing is, I'm not saying, just don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's gonna be the same way. What I'm trying to tell you is that it might be very similar story, that market might be very short towards ECB day tomorrow, meaning that over the course of the last few days there was a preparation to build the sentiment, to build the market expectations, right? Also looks like, for me, for now, again, not sure what we are going to get. Maybe simply ECB will fulfill the market expectations, will be ultra dovish tomorrow. I don't know. What I know right now, that for me looks like market is going to be short euro tomorrow into ECB, right? So it might be at some point very similar to what we get yesterday from the pound perspective. All right, in that case, it's worth to check what's the money market priced in regards to ECB. Last Friday, the probability of the 10 basis point cut was almost 60%, but yesterday afternoon it was right under 40, right? So on one hand, expectations were built, but looks like some smart guys might be on the other side. Anyway, we will get back into it. We have the first PMI reading. It looks like might be not what market like, as we have this pullback on euro, testing again 1140. All right, France, July 2019, preliminary manufacturing PMI 50 versus 51.6 expectations. Very weak. The good thing is still 50 and prior 51.9. Services PMI 52.2, expectations 52.6, prior 52.9. So the French PMI is weak, right? So I'm not surprised we are seeing this spike to the downside on euro dollar. So we hit today's low, so more stops been hit here, right? The only thing is that we might to try, but it's exactly to the point, so it might not work that way. I think we might have some kind of the megaphone sooner or later. So the first reading is very weak, and if we are going to, go through all those PMI numbers in a similar fashion, so we might see over the course of the day continuation of euro selling, right? But it's worth to mention options market expectations, and we have a good chunk at 112 in expiration, 2.5 billion, right? 1150, so around the current level we have almost 1 billion. So I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to let's say German number is not gonna be the worst one, right? Let's say we are going to get neutral or maybe a little bit better the German number. We might see the round towards 112 on euro dollar. I'm not gonna be surprised. Overall, 1150, 12, 50 pips range from the options market perspective. It's worth to mention also that we have very significant dollar yen expiration and 108. We have 4.3 billion. So we know from the dollar yen perspective what's the magnet, 108, right? But we are going to discuss right now. We are going to discuss and watch euro pairs. So euro dollar, we know where we are. Euro pound, we were discussing this 89.50 as a key level here. When we are talking about something looks like head and shoulders, especially that it appear after the stop count to the upside. So a little bit topish formation might be here. I'm not gonna be surprised. The only thing worry me is that we are around the end of the month, and we will see. Anyway, also very interesting where we are from euro Swiss franc perspective, right? We are testing significant 110 level. We were lower below 109.80. Yesterday we saw a little bit of relief rally towards the supply around 110.10, right? There is a rejection over here. I don't think we are going to see the reaction Swiss National Bank reaction right now, but I think few guys over there are nervous right now because of where we are. So I've been laughing yesterday when I had a conversation with my colleagues. I've been laughing yesterday that with overall euro weakness, euro Swiss might be the only cross we might see higher after even ultra dovish ECB decision, right? Because of invisible hands of the Swiss National Bank. So that's what we have here. We are going to discuss euro dollar, we are going to discuss euro Swiss franc, we are going to discuss euro pound, and maybe euro Aussie over the course of this meeting. So yeah, we got the first reading, was the French one was weak. Within the next 9 minutes we are going to get the German one, and then at the top of the hour we are going to get the overall EU reading. So we will see. As we have around 8 minutes, so let's try to connect with Michał again, and let's check what he has for us from that perspective. Just give me a second. Stay with us and we will get back shortly. Hi Michał, good morning again.
Hello, good morning.
So we have first reading. We got the French one, and it was much weaker than what the market was expecting. So what do you think? What may happen? What we are going to get over the course of European session?
From what we saw before a couple of minutes, yeah, it was a worse reading than the estimation, but you can see it was just a spike, and they're slowly trying to pump up again. And I see the most important will be the German, right? And I think today, like very last couple of weeks, the euro dollar will be we will see one more time a roller coaster, I think. The ECB is everybody is expecting that on the meeting ECB will say something about the quantitative easing. They have like 8 methods of it, either to buy bonds or stocks, and they also expecting that they will discuss when it will happen. And most of the economists think it will be in September or December. So I think in the short term we will see some the reaction of the bulls of the euro dollar. But me personally, I will stay away from this pair for a couple of days. I will try to stay and watch what's gonna happen. I will more rather go to euro pound and try to, as I spoke before, on the verge of the yesterday's action. And in the when we talk about euro dollar, it's like more two factors, right? Two strong factors, two strong economies, and the Fed is. We will see also the Fed rate decision, and when we will get closer to the decision, the more information we will get. And I'm thinking that they're trying to mislead us, as always. The media was every time pushing the info about 50 basis point rate cut, and right now it's they confuse us so much. Every from every Fed from every state saying something different, and it's hard to tell what's gonna happen. But I think we will have just those 25 basis points. So I think the PMIs today will not be as much important in the midterm as the tomorrow's speech, right? The ECB speech.
All right, but what's your opinion? Because what market wants to get from ECB is 10 basis point cut. And are we going to get that cut tomorrow or not necessarily?
I think not. I think not. Their stance was pretty. They were pretty sure about their stance of the rate cut. I think we will get that more later, like in the December or September or December, right? For the bad data from the manufacturing and the service PMI are bad, not from yesterday. So if they would want to act very aggressively, they would give some hints, they would give some signals to the market, but they're still opposing on the side to wait and watch, and I think it will, and I think they eventually the data we see are getting worse and worse and worse. The PMIs from the French are I checked from the last 8 months are like 1 point up, the 51, 48 and something. So I think they're not that much important, but I think we will get from the more important will be from the Germany, right? They're very, very bad from the last more than a year, and I think it will be in the midterm we will see some rally, but in the short and the mid and for the long term we will have to wait for the reaction of from the US, right? If we talk about the euro USD, what is your opinion on that? I want to confront my.
To be honest with you, it might be the case that we are going to get only the verbal intervention tomorrow. They will try to hold some tools for a second part of the year. That might be the case, but if that's going to happen, we might see some kind of the aggressive profit taking from the short side on the euro dollar, so that might push euro much higher, and I'm not sure if ECB want to see that. So it's a conflict of interest here. So yeah, they will try. I think as well that we are not gonna get that cut, but we are going to get ultra dovish comments. That's how I see that.
He will, Draghi, Super Mario will try to support the eurozone despite the not good economic data. And about the maybe I want to ask you also about the trading. What do you think we should keep the? Because my opinion is like we should stay away from the euro dollar and focus much more, as you previously said, for example, the Swiss franc, because I think we will have the roller coaster like we saw yesterday on the pound USD, right? We saw to the downside, then rally for the stops to the upside, and we are consolidating in some between 1.24 and 24.48, something like that, 24.50. So I think it will be the same on the euro dollar. So I think we should
that might be the case.
More like yes, please.
That might be the case. I think also because of what the options market is showing, there is a 50 pips range in between 11.50 12. It's all about the German number within the next 30 seconds, and I think we are going to be a little bit more clever after that reading. I'm not gonna be surprised to see some kind of the relief rally towards 112, but I think from the bulls perspective on euro dollar 112.25 is a key here, and as you mentioned, it might be smart to try to stay away from euro dollar at least towards FOMC next week, towards end of the month, and focus on the euro Swiss franc, focus on euro pound, trying to focus on euro Aussie, for example, or something like this. That might be the case, and we see the huge euro dollar sell off right now. So meaning that the German number is ugly. We'll see. Let me check it.
Yeah, very, very ugly. Even worse. We can check.
Let me check the number.
It's 43 point. 1 second, 43.1. So estimated was 45.1, so it's 2 points.
So even weaker. So to be honest with you, it might be the case that I have to take my words about the cut. I have to take my words back.
Maybe small cut. Maybe small cut. Yes. If you check the latest from several months, I see till November, they were lowering all the time. All the time they were lower and lower each month. The PMIs were lower, and only in June I see they were a little bit better, but then once again they fell below 45 points. So I think I think maybe maybe we will see some small cut after that. Maybe some
it's
I
ugly.
don't know,
The
short
German one is
information
ugly.
on the media.
The only light in the tunnel is the tick higher in services PMI 55.4 versus 55.3 expectations, but the prior was much higher, 55.8. So I'm not sure if we can call it as a light in the tunnel. So it's ugly. That's what we have to say. It's ugly.
So we can also expect that the overall for the Eurozone, the PMI indicator will be lower than the estimated, right? Since the two biggest, also UK, but one of the couple biggest economies in the Eurozone, the Germans and the French, have the lower readings than the estimates. So I think that a PMI overall for the Euro area Eurozone will be also worse than expected. So
yeah. All right, Michał, we are going to go through the chart. Thank you very much for your input. We are going to cover ECB live tomorrow, so hopefully you are going to join us morning and then afternoon.
Yeah, I think it will be great to be on to talk with you once again tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Michał. Have a great rest of the London session, and see you around.
Yeah, see you around. Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. So it's ugly German number. It's not bad. It's ugly, right? So we see that finally bad news is bad news for DAX, also for DAX, right? So the market's takeaway right now, at least for now, is okay. It's really something going on. Something bad is going on, because lately it was like, all right, if bad news was good news because of the central bank's action eventually, right? But right now even DAX reacted to the downside. So yeah, that's where we are. So I think we are not going to discover America. Trying to watch Euro pound to the downside. In the meantime, random name also mentioned about Euro pound. He was scalping to the downside, as far as I understand. Congrats. And yeah, I think what Michał wrote, that there is a chance that the best to come here. So let's try to figure it out. What might be the case for us to try to join that party eventually. Let's switch lower, even lower. I'm trying to. I think that the pre-announcement high here, of course, somewhere. Of course, top of the hour close is gonna be the key here as well. That's what I think. Something closer to 89.60. Previously, during our morning meeting, we are discussing 89, 80, 90, 90, 10, but looks like we might not get there, right? Yeah. So watching this one carefully because of this, also because of this breakdown. There is a possibility of one manipulation I can see here. If we are going to get back above this neckline, right? We were discussing that might be the case for a little bit higher levels. Still, stop count of the Tokyo high might be the case here. So what I'm gonna try to do here, yeah, let's wait if we are not going to get some lower shadow to try to avoid any kind of the stop hunt. Trying to figure it out the best place to try to join that party. I see two, but I'm not sure if we are going that high. I've got the one over here, but that's what we discussed this morning. And I do have one more here, but that one was tested right yesterday. So here probably we have to wait for a little bit relief rally and watching via euro dollar here, right? That might be the case. Just don't forget that if the guys from the options market, if they will start to cover 1150, still we have huge 2.5 at 12. What we are testing from daily chart here, let's have a look. That's what we discussed previously. We are testing a high-end opening level from the late May, 30th of May, right? We discussed the swing low. Let me show you the swing low over here, right? But with this negative tone, I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to, especially that we are approaching end of the month, we have the red line, meaning the line represents monthly chart around 111 here, right? I'm not gonna be surprised to see that we are hunting the stops to the downside, right? So right now, trying to summarize what we have here, daily open, today's daily open, 1150, so the option expiration. So for you towards the New York session, 1150, that might be the case as first possible supply. Then of course broken 1185 12 level with 1215 weekly open and the overall 1225 Monday high, right? So that's where I do expect some supply. You know, I don't like to chase the prices, so I'm going to wait at least to see the retest of 1150, right, before any decision on from the euro dollar perspective. And from the euro pound perspective, would be great to see something closer to the 90, but we might not get there unless Boris Johnson is going to say something market is not going to like. but it's might be treated as a nice inverted cup and handle here. Of course, we are trying to fight with all those lower shadows right now. It's going to be the challenge, but yeah. So in case of euro pound, I'm going to treat that one. The Tokyo session consolidation, right? And in case of 89.70 and rejection, so top of that consolidation stop count, or trying to double that consolidation, and look, that's quite logical, and this 89.85 cannot be ruled out, so I'm going to wait for 89.70 with rejection, or 89.85 to look for rejection. So I'm not chasing the market. I'm not chasing this breakdown here right now. At least I'm not chasing for now, right? Let's have a look, because that was the... We still have 3 minutes. We are watching 15-minute chart, and we are trying to break this Tokyo low. If we are going to get the close, actually, who knows? With very tight stop. So let's give them a few more minutes. I think random name. I think that eventually, if lowering the exposure, that might take part of the stress off the table, right? Because if you are trading big tickets and you know, huge exposure, risking quite a good chunk of your money compared to what you have on your account, I think that lowering the exposure, lowering the risk, that might be the solution for you. But that's the one of the way to try to take some stress off the table. Maybe I don't know your strategy, but maybe when you think that you are chasing the market too often, maybe that's also the space to work with. All right. Looks like market decided to go that way. So we will see if you are going to get the retest of 60. I might try to join with some 8 or 10 pips stop here. So just to be perfectly clear, I'm not doing analysis on the 1 minute. So you can compare my 0.1 to 0.5%. So that's where your stress coming in my opinion. I don't know you personally, but I think you've got your answer. All right, I'm not doing the analysis based on 1 minute chart. We are talking about this possible head and shoulders from the early, but I'm looking for best possible execution for me, from my perspective on a lower time frame. So let's have a look if we can. Not necessarily. Looks like we retested this level already on 1 minute chart. So overall, if I'm going to get that 89.60, so on the higher time frame on the hourly, we might see retest. If I'm going to get that one, so of course, you know the drill. I'm going to try to target almost bottom to what we have here, right? So you know the drill. 88.80 is gonna be the target. Okay. Of course, the risk is any unwelcome Boris Johnson comment here. All right, so trying to summarize, euro dollar, I'm waiting for the levels closer to the daily open, so we are talking about something closer to 11.50. Then I'm waiting in case of I'm going to be stop out around 11.50. Then I'm waiting for 11.85, 12, 12.15 with my stop is going to be above 20.25. Based on what we get currently, of course we have the US number later on. But what we get currently telling me that we might see, selling going on euro towards tomorrow's ECB event, right? I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see that one. Just a reminder. We are going to have a meeting tomorrow 8 a.m. So we are going to cover pre-London Open as usual from Monday to Friday. But then we have afternoon ECB day live market coverage, and we start 30 minutes earlier than usual. So 1:30 p.m. CET, 12:30 p.m. London, right? That's when we are going to have a meeting tomorrow. Nothing extraordinary yesterday from the cryptocurrency space. So if I have something to update on the crypto space, I will make a quick live today's afternoon. That's it from me, guys, today. Have a great rest of the London session. Don't be trapped, don't chase the market, and we are going to meet again with the FX market tomorrow. You are more than welcome to join me. Don't forget ECB day tomorrow. Have a great one. Goodbye.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.